Joining us now in studio, we have Dr. Erica. Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
And May is Mental Health Month, so we're kind of exploring some topics around that. A big one in Montana and across the country right now is a risk of suicide. And Montana has some kind of scary high statistics. Dr. Erica, talk to us a little bit about what that picture looks like here.
Right. You know, Montana for the last 30 years has been in the top 5 in the nation in terms of risk of suicide rate. The youth suicide rate in Montana is twice the national average. And so it's definitely something that we in Montana, as well as the nation and the world, need to be aware of, need to be not afraid of talking about, and need to be able to reach out to those who we may be concerned about and let them know that there are options for them to be safe.
So what are some of those? So if you have maybe a friend or a family member who seems unwell, experiencing depression or talking about self-harm, what are the steps that someone can take who's concerned but maybe doesn't have, not a mental health provider?
Right. I think the first thing that people, it's uncomfortable to talk about this, and but the first thing is just to ask and to be straightforward about it and to be caring about it and empathetic about it and not be afraid to ask, because obviously those statistics show that this is not something that is rare for people to think about if they are in that bad of depression. A lot of times what I'll say with my patients is, if they're complaining of, symptoms and feelings of severe depression or hopelessness, it's better just to always say, gosh, how bad has it gotten? Have you ever been so bad that you've thought of ending your life? Have you thought of suicide? Have you thought of, how bad has it really gotten? And a lot of times people, that'll open the door that it's okay to talk about that. They're afraid to bring that up sometimes. And then if they, say yes, or if they, say, no, I haven't gotten that bad, at least they know you're a safe person that they can talk to about that. And if they do say, well, yeah, sometimes I have thought about that, then you need to go a little further. And don't be shocked, don't offer judgment, don't give them, tell them that it's going to be okay necessarily and give that glib reassurance, but tell them, you're there, and then figure out how serious have you thought about this? Has this been something you think about daily? Have you ever tried? Have you thought about how you would do it? If you did do that, and then that gives you some more information about how to keep them safe and how to support them. The number 1 cause in Montana among youth and adults is firearms. So, we have a lot of firearms, and people have access to that. And so making sure, are there firearms in the home? Are they locked up? Do you need to give someone else the key to that? Do we need to get them out of the home? Or pills is another thing. Do we need to get anything out of the home? If they're a substance abuser, if they drink alcohol, then their inhibition is decreased. And that is also something that they need to be careful about. If they are, giving them the resources. So 988 is a new number. You think of 911 for emergencies, medical emergencies, and suicide can be a medical emergency. Sometimes you need to call 911 if someone has attempted or if they are, on the precipice of attempting suicide. But 988 is a crisis line for suicide that you can call, that someone who is worried about their own safety can call for support. Anytime, 24/7. It's also important, I'd like to mention the prevalence of suicide in youth. Like I said earlier, twice the national average, and kids are seeing this a lot and talking about it. They're seeing it on social media. I think some of the stats were, 20 to 40% we'll see weekly on something like YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. And so opening up that conversation with your kids too, I think is important, so that we're destigmatizing this, we're recognizing that this is common, and we're keeping people safe.
Yes, of course. Top thing there. So if you're concerned about yourself or another person, 988 is a great resource.
Call 988. Know that we're there. Know that there is hope. Know that that's not the right answer. That there are people who care about them. They make a difference in this world, and that you are there to help support them through that and keep them safe.
Dr. Erica, thank you so much.